어서 와. 방탄은 처음이지?
We're really excited to have my friend Candace. She is from Korean school. That's where I met her and also learned that she is a very big BTS fan. And so we just want to welcome Candace to
Hey Candace.
Hello.
So I'm pretty excited because I'm a BTS fan too. So it's nice to meet another fellow BTS fan, Army. Okay, so listen, I have my first question is kind of off the list of questions, but are you a Army or are you a stan?
Do you know what a stan is? Do you check your Twitter or Instagram for BTS information in the morning and at night before you go to bed?
I love the interrogation.
Do you dream about that at night?
I would just say I'm a regular Army. I don't really check Twitter anymore. And when I first got into BTS, I was more on and off. So I'd be like, oh, they came out with something, I'd listen to it. And then I would just kind of like pause for a bit. So I don't think I really started getting into them until I met my friends. And I was like 3 years ago, because they're all from Korean school. And that's the reason why they joined, so they can learn Korean because of BTS. And so because I was more surrounded by them, that's how I got into them even more.
I come across that a lot. I belong to several Korean language groups and stuff, and so many people are part of that group just because of BTS. They just want to learn the lyrics of the songs or be able to understand what they're saying. I find that really interesting. That so many, it's not because of other groups, it's specifically BTS. So that's really interesting. Okay, well, I think we're going to discover whether you're a stan or an Army by the end of the interview.
You do have a lot of information brewing in your head about BTS.
And I think we're going to discover some of the things that you do for the sake of BTS that might nudge you closer to standom.
I know a lot of information because my friends talk about BTS a lot, so I just remember a good portion of it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so remind us then, when did you first hear about BTS? Like what year?
I knew about when they debuted, but I'm the type of person who takes forever to research anybody or anything. I don't think I listened to them until like 2014.
How did you hear about their debut?
I used to follow a website. Was it All K-Pop?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they would mention who was debuting and stuff, and they had mentioned them a couple of times. I just never looked into them.
What drew you to BTS?
Like what got me into them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God.
What was it about
Share your
BTS
story.
where you're just like, I like them?
I guess I'll reveal it.
Reveal your secret.
Share, Candace.
Reveal them.
So
the tea.
I had looked them up because I was part of a group on Facebook that was called African Americans Love K-Pop, and somebody had posted a picture of somebody, and I said, oh, that person's really cute. And so I had asked who it was, and somebody had responded, oh, that's Park Ji-min for BTS. And I said, cool, I guess I'm gonna look him up now.
So you fell in love with Jimin first, and then you were like, okay, I can handle BTS now.
He's the reason that drew you to BTS.
Jimin, you're the reason.
He's also my favorite voice. I had listened to a couple of their songs, but the two that stuck out the most was One More Day and Bulletproof Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought he was a little cute little beat. And I really liked his voice, so I was like, I can do this. And then when I got into them, it was close to when their next album, I think it was Dark and Wild, was coming out. And
So would you say Jimin is your favorite member of the group?
Yep,
He's your bias?
Yep.
Okay. But you have some follow-up biases too. You don't have like just one, right?
Mm-hmm. When Dope came out, I remember watching J-Hope when he was dancing.
Oh,
I was
I
like,
love
yeah, go J-Hope. And so
That's
how
one of
we
my
got
favorite songs.
Yeah, that's one of my top songs, and that's how I got into J-Hope. And I was like,
Yeah. J-Hope's dope.
yep.
See what I did there?
Wow.
I know, right?
That's wow. Christy, techno in her head. 1.
Yeah. Bing.
Bing, count. Do you have a favorite song of BTS, or as some other people, do you have top 5?
Well, we know that Dope's one of them.
Yeah, Dope was one of them. That really got me into BTS. I would probably say One More Day because that was the one that really like attracted me to them.
Mm-hmm.
Save Me was one of the last songs. Save Me and Fire were the last 2 songs I heard before I got into my hiatus, and I listened to them a lot. And Save Me is one of my favorite music videos.
Yeah.
And then I would have to say my ultimate song would be Pluto.
Dope's definitely one of my favorite. I love Boy in Love.
Mhm.
I love Fire. I love Silver Spoon.
Oh, that's a good song. I didn't hear that till
love
later
Silver
though.
Spoon. And their dance music video for that is the bomb. Like, I watch their dance practices more than I watch their music videos.
They are fun.
Because you don't get to see the whole dance in a music video. But their dance practice
Yeah, 'cause
videos
they
are
put it
like...
in snippet.
in a next life, I want to be one of their like like a K-pop dancer.
I want to be the dancer
Right.
in the Jimmy Fallon Grand Central
Station
Station.
on performance. BTS is what drew me to watch all the the dance practice videos because they're so on point and so energetic, and they put like so much into every performance that I'm just like, I watch it over and over and over again. I'm like, I wish I could dance like that. So you've been to see them live, haven't you? How many times?
Twice.
Whoa.
Twice. Okay.
Yes.
And which shows did you see?
It was the Speak Yourself tour. I went the Saturday and Sunday concert.
Okay.
Back in like 2019.
Okay.
Did you travel far to go see them?
That one was in Chicago.
Or? Okay.
So it's like 6-7 hours from here. About
13. It's a 13-hour drive.
It only took me like
It was just a few hours.
yeah, like 7.
And
I guess it may have been the first
I think it's like 8-hour drive. It's not
Something like that.
anything for
Yeah.
Jimin, right?
So here's my question, like, just when getting regular concert tickets, it's almost like you have to watch the countdown till the clock hits the time that tickets go on sale, and you snag them really quickly. How is it with BTS tickets, considering they will sell out in seconds here in the United States? Did you have multiple people attempting to do it at the same time? Or how did you guys
How did
snag
you
your
get the
tickets?
golden tickets?
somebody get 2 tickets for this show, and that way, if anybody doesn't get one, you know, somebody else got it, you can just pay them back because they have that backup. And so, mainly the strategy was try to snag the tickets as fast as you can. Everybody who can afford it get 2. That way, if everybody's covered and somebody has extra, you can sell the extra
and
ticket.
you are guaranteed to sell the
Yeah.
extra ticket. Yeah.
And the thing was, the first time I did it, I knew it would be kind of hectic. I didn't realize how hectic it would be because I think when I try to get the tickets, you have to wait in a queue. And it takes a lot of work to even try to get to the front of said queue. And I think I had like 2,000 people in front of me when I had to do mine. And then when I finally got to even buy any tickets, you have to be really quick because somebody else will just snag them just like that.
Yeah.
So you have to go through multiple seats for minutes before you can actually get something. And so because I bought tickets for the one that was supposed to happen last year, they had changed it to where if you have a membership, you get first dibs.
And what's it like being in a BTS crowd?
Freaking hectic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's loud.
Yeah, I bet.
It's super hype and super loud.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you have a light stick.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
They're so
So,
cool though. Like the
they
light
are.
sticks are not like cheap little things that you would get at the Dollar General store, and they're like legit. And they light up in sequence with everybody else's light sticks.
And concerts, they can program it.
Yeah, they program. Why do you think BTS has become so much more popular than other K-pop groups? What's their secret sauce?
Their secret sauce. What's the secret recipe to their sauce?
What's their sauce?
I think most people really like BTS because a lot of their lyrics are pretty much relatable. And I guess because their company isn't as strict when it comes to certain things, they can still be open and communicate more with their fans. So I think that's one reason why people really...
Yeah, they do a lot of V-Lives.
Yeah. They try to communicate with their fans.
So if you don't know what a V-Live is, it is a live video that they do. You can actually sign up for the app. It's called V-Live. Or they're on Weverse as well. And they do live videos for their fans where the fans can interact with them. It's pretty cool. It's like an Instagram live feed kind of thing. And they can read all your comments and comment on your comments and things like that. So fans really like that because they feel really connected to whoever it is that they are a bias for or have a bias for, or the group that they love. So check it out. It's awesome. But I also think that they're popular because of the message they send. They're very positive, and obviously the Love Yourself album was all about loving yourself. They're very big advocates of mental health and making sure that people are taking care of themselves and loving themselves so that they can love others and be there for others. And I think that's a really good positive message. And I've heard that a lot from BTS fans, so that's what they love about them.
Looking at them as artists and knowing that they are getting older as time goes by and they have to go into the military. What do you think, do you ever see them settling down with families or just doing the home life type of deal, or do you think they would stay in the music industry for as long as they possibly can and bypass the family thing?
I'd say both. I mean, at the end of the day, all of us are still human, and most of us want to be in a relationship. I mean, who knows? It probably could be right now. Like,
I'm sure
we don't really know anybody's life behind the scenes. So I'm pretty sure everybody's mostly trying to get ready for like the military portion of it, because it's been extended, I think, twice. Like once or twice for BTS.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they really love doing music. That's their thing. So, of course, they're going to stay in it. But I think after the military, they'll either slow down for a little bit or they'll get back into it and then try to figure out how to do the relationship portion on top of that. So, I mean, it's going to happen.
And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about when it comes to military, as a Korean citizen, you're required to serve. Is it just the males?
Males.
Only males. So male citizens are required to serve 2 years mandatory service in the military. And I'm not sure if they get to choose when they go, but it has to be before the age of 28, right?
I think you get the call and then you get there's a name for it. You get the letter and you have a time period within that letter to respond to either say, I am going to postpone this, and you have to submit a reason why you're going to postpone it, or you enlist.
Yeah. And so BTS, all the members are at that age where they're going to have to they have to go to the military. And they just extended Jin was actually due to go to the military in I think it was December of last year.
Yeah, I think so.
And the government extended it until, because I think he's 28. He turned 28 in December. And then the government extended it to hit the age of 30 for them, because BTS rakes in like $4.6 billion for their annual GDP. So they're a huge moneymaker for Korea. And I think they're like, let's extend this as long as we can. So there's a special exemption or exception, not exemption, but exception for BTS. But what do you think is going to happen though? Because they're all getting to that age where they're going to have to start serving. Do you think they should all serve at the same time, get their 2 years over and done with, and then go back to it? Because if they stagger it, there's going to be multiple people missing from the group and it's going to change the whole dynamic of the group. What do you think?
I think they're either going to go in at the same time or do it in two different groups. And I
half
feel
and
like,
half.
I feel like they'd either all go in together, or if they stagger it, most people can work on solo things that they've been working on.
Right.
And then they'll go, and then the ones coming back can do their stuff, and then they can come back together.
Yeah.
So,
That's a 4-year time period of doing solo stuff. Do you think the fans will miss the group for 4 years?
I think they'll miss their group, but if they still bring in some kind of content, even solo wise, because most of the time we wait for solo stuff too.
Right.
Like V and JK have been saying that they're going to come out with possibly a solo album probably sometime this year. So
Oh, okay.
I feel as though if they still have the solo content coming out, I don't think it's going to make
That makes
that
sense.
much of a gap.
Yeah,
So-
that makes sense.
Do you think there are fans out there that will stick through it and say, well, I love BTS, I'm going to support them when they come back? And or do you feel like there's going to be a part of a fan group that are like, well, we like the group stuff, we're not sure about the solo stuff, so let's move on to another K-pop group?
I feel like they have a pretty steady fan base. And on top of that, every year they gain more and more as the years have gone by. So I feel like, I mean, if people choose to leave, that's on them. But I feel like it'll still grow as they're in the army.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I've seen cases where people have gone to the army and then when they come back, people are like, yay, my group's back. 'Cause Shiny just released something not too long ago. And everybody's like, yeah, Shiny.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
that was their
We're
group.
back. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, if that's your group, you're going to stand them. Like if Vicks came back for me, granted the person I liked isn't there, I'd be like, yes, I can finally get
Yeah.
their music again.
Yeah.
That's
So
how I feel about Big Bang.
That's how I feel about EXO.
If they tour, I want to go.
I know.
I missed the G Dragon tour because nobody wanted to go with me.
I don't think I could afford to go at the time. They always pick like the most random times with what, like YG picks like the weirdest times. It doesn't warn anybody about it either. Because when Big Bang first came here, 21 was also still out, and they had 21 perform first. And the difference was with Big Bang, they gave everybody, I believe, like a 6 months heads up or something like that. When 21 came out, it was like 2 or 3 months before they were supposed to be in America.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so I think we've established in the beginning that you met your some of your friend group from Korean school, but are all of your BTS ARMY friends from Korean school, or do you have other ones outside of Korean school that you've met?
The main ones I met were from Korean school. I met probably about three or four of them from Korean school. And then we kind of like stuck together for a bit. Some of the girls from Korean school went to like K-pop meetups or like other BTS related things because they knew about it. I sure didn't. And they met other people there and then introduced me to them, like when we did group stuff.
Are there K-pop meetups in Nashville?
I think there were some for a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the dance offs. You know, where they play all the music and everyone runs into the middle.
Do they do that at meetups?
I don't know. Do they?
I guess some of them can. Like I said, I didn't even know about most of them.
I didn't even know these things existed.
They're
So I'm
worldwide. Like, it's all over the world they do these.
I'm learning
Yeah.
all of
Or the
this.
cup sleeve events.
The what?
The what?
The cup sleeve events
What's
for
the
the.
Like Starbucks cup sleeve?
Yeah. It's not just for BTS. I mainly learned about it because of BTS. But with certain like groups or like certain like members' birthdays from certain groups, people will rent out like a cafe, like a place that serves bubble tea or like a cafe, and then they'll make little cup sleeves for their birthday. And they'll have their birthday, like the member, or have the anniversary date of that K-pop group, and then you go and just celebrate with other fans.
They rent a whole cafe for this?
Or they like ask if they can like use their venue.
I guess it's good for the venue because the venue gets to sell a bunch of coffee.
Mhm.
So
Or
I would
bubble
do
tea,
it.
yeah.
You know, if I
Yeah,
had a
but
bunch of
like,
people
are
going
there
in.
enough people to go to these events?
Are you kidding? There's 90 million BTS fans worldwide.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's enough.
There was one in Chattanooga a few years ago. I couldn't go because I had to work, but it was for V and Jin, because they're both December babies, so they combined theirs together. I went to one last year for J-Hope, and that was in like Huntsville, Alabama, or something like that.
Oh wow,
Birmingham? It was one of the places in Alabama. I was going through a hard time. I didn't want to be here, so I was just like, let's go.
And so how many people came to this event?
I was in a line for a little bit. It was pretty crowded.
Speaking of their birthdays, since I spent some time on Instagram,
Okay.
and I know you because
Okay.
you're my friend, and I know what you post on Instagram.
Okay.
You celebrate their birthdays.
And you don't just celebrate them.
You have birthday parties.
You
right?
have a cake with their faces printed on it. And you have gifts.
I can explain that one.
Okay. So yes, I want to know all of this.
Please
like,
share.
Like
I will go ahead and explain this one. It's a thing. I didn't know this was a thing, but it was a thing. The first time I ever actually got invited to one was actually to celebrate Jimin's birthday. And this is when I was still kind of in my K-pop hiatus, so I didn't know these were a thing. So one of my friends from Korean school had basically came up to me, was like, hey, we're celebrating Jimin's birthday. Do you want to celebrate with us? And in the back of my head, I thought it was really weird. And I said, we're going to a Korean restaurant. I'm not really going to say no to Korean food.
Right.
And then Jimin's one of my top 3 biases. So I was like, yeah, I can do it. I did think it was weird, but I did meet people from it. And then when the Jimin one happened, we only had like cake and pictures.
Okay.
And then the next one they decided to do was V and Jin's birthday, because their birthday's after his.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went from just like cake and pictures to like a whole poster. They're like posters. There are like goodie bags. There was decorations and cake. And I remember sitting there thinking, I must have missed the memo about something because I don't know where this jump even came from. And so I was having kind of a hard year in 2018. It wasn't hard. There was just a lot of craziness going on with like financial stuff, friendship stuff, and I just wanted a distraction from all of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't do much in 2018 because of it. And so I told myself I didn't want to repeat 2018 into 19. And so somebody had mentioned that we were probably going to do a party for J-Hope's birthday. And I remember J-Hope's birthday because it's actually my brother's birthday also. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to contribute. I'm going to do something because I didn't want to be in such a funk. And so I remember somebody saying that J-Hope really likes Sprite, and that's what started everything. Yeah.
I wonder if he's ever tried a Sprite pie.
A what?
What?
What's a Sprite
There
pie?
is this thing on, I guess it's on TikTok. So somebody posted the video on Instagram where they made a pie out of Sprite. The soda.
as like the liquid part of the pie?
As the pie. So like they put some kind of congealing stuff,
gotcha.
and so it's like almost a clear pie,
Like it was a jelly
Like a jelly
thing.
pie?
like a jelly pie,
Yeah.
but it was made out of Sprite. So it was a
Interesting.
Sprite pie.
I don't know how I feel about that.
People do weird stuff on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest
But
thing.
apparently it was yummy. So then other people started doing it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is really good." I wonder if anybody's actually made the pie and given it to him, since he's mentioned that he likes Sprite.
I don't know if they can accept baked goods, can they?
In Korea, they can. I don't know about in America.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only reason why I say that is because there was a time, if I'm not mistaken, they had to stop having fans bring
Food.
because they
just
would.
gifts all together.
Oh, gifts.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm sure they get inundated with them.
Well, the
Yeah.
fact that they have to travel back.
Yeah, like what am I going to do with these?
Yeah.
Like, thanks, but
Oh,
That would
yeah,
be tough
millions
because
and
you-
millions.
because fans put a lot of time and effort into giving gifts and stuff like that, and try to be nice, but I guess it's really hard for them to take it back.
Yeah, I think after a while they got swamped with gifts, so they had to just pretty much.
Say
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like something, a better thing to do that's meaningful that they can do that doesn't require them having to try and take all these things back to Korea?
Some fans try to do stuff. I know on their birthdays, most people will try to donate to like a certain charity under their name.
Oh, that's a good
Right.
idea.
So
Yeah,
that's
especially
something
since
they do.
they're into donating, and
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good idea. They could write a song, make a dance.
So one other thing that you did
Mhm.
was you make fun little BTS gift baskets because you made one for my niece and she loved it so much. But there were things in it that I'd never seen in like a regular store or like Hot Topic or Box Lunch, because you can basically find some items, some BTS items at Hot Topic, Box Lunch, other stores like that. But yeah,
Some
it
unique
was creative
things.
and it was unique. So how did you start this little idea for your friends, and where do you get the merch from?
I don't remember what I put in your niece's.
She had like a bracelet, I think, in there, a couple of bracelets, maybe lanyard. She had a bunch of things. She just kept pulling stuff out.
Yeah.
And like she's live Instagramming it. And so it was just interesting. Like she's just pulling all this stuff out and I'm like, oh my word.
So, if you ever got to meet BTS,
Okay.
would you like pass out? What would you say to them? Like, how would you be able to keep yourself together?
I feel like I would.
Yeah.
I'd probably be nervous, but I don't think I'd pass out or freak out or anything. That'd be kind of weird and a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I
Can you
try to
imagine?
mentally prepare myself enough, I could
Right.
deal with it.
Yeah. What
What
would you
she
say?
say?
That's something I've never actually thought about.
I guess most of us probably never have the opportunity to meet them anyway. But what if they're watching this video?
I appreciate everything you guys do and thank you for being awesome.
That was
I
sweet.
think I've had a conversation with my friend about this once, and since I'm in Korean school, I think I would try to say something in Korean.
Okay.
My Korean's not that grand yet. I do have a lot more practice to
Yeah.
do, but
What would you say in Korean?
probably the same thing, but
What?
in Korean.
In Korean.
Yeah.
Can you say it in Korean? What if they're watching this? This
I
is
just-
your chance.
Christy
This
has
is your
high
one
hopes.
chance.
I can just say
The likelihood is low.
The likelihood,
There's
the
low,
likelihood
but you never
is like
know.
a negative 100.
You never know.
I think one of the goals I would have if I did get a chance to meet them would have at least hold a small conversation in Korean.
Yeah.
Because I know very many of them are nervous when it comes to speaking in English.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could try.
Yeah.
attempt.
I don't know enough Korean to even remotely hold a conversation.
I only know food and directions.
So you can tell them where the bathroom is.
Yes, I can.
And what she ate for lunch.
Yes, I can.
That's hilarious. We have a little goodie bag for you. Did you want to give her a goodie bag?
It's over there, and I'll give it to her later.
We'll show you a picture of the goodie bag because it's super cute. I wanted to showcase it because you did such a good job of it.
The part of the goodie bag is on the table.
Yeah, the little mug. Christina made this awesome I Heart Korean mug. It's really, really
I do
cute.
have lipstick on it.
Yeah, it's
Please
super
ignore
cute.
it.
This.
It's a
Got our
super
little
cute
hearts.
mug. We've got little tumblers with I Heart Korean on them too. You can't really see the I Heart Korean, but it's super cute. Trust me. But yeah, thanks so much for coming. Thanks for watching
Thanks for
and
watching.
and hanging in with us for this long video. But yeah, we're gonna do a lot more groups in the future. You've been watching I Heart Korean.